good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good whatever and wherever you are. I hope you find it in a place of goodness. I'm Carol C.C. Miller, your positive life strategist, peace activator, and global hugger, coming to you with another episode of Embrace Your Life Chat, where the intention is to heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows through a positive focus. Please let me know in comments where you're joining me from. I am in Chicago, Illinois, and lived here for many, many, many years. I'm actually originally from Central Illinois, but I have been in Chicago since college. So let me know where you're joining me from, and also let me know if you're new to my work or positive focus, because I enjoy welcoming in new people as well. I do want to get a couple of things started before we go into today's conversation. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. To make sure people are aware of where I'm coming from. And one is, I'm not an absolutist. I'm not a big fan of the words always, never, right, wrong, good, or bad, because there are 7 billion people on this planet. And I can't begin to say what is always right or never right for 7 billion people. So I work on the majority of the time, 0 being always negative, 100 being always positive. I don't know anybody either spectrum. I know people who are closer to 0 and closer to 100. My personal work, which I've been doing for many years now, is to stay in the 90 percentile of positive, kind, loving, compassionate, and peaceful, because those are my top values. That's what I strive to work on. What does that mean? It means fear, frustration, disappointment, anger, unworthiness, all the feelings that most of us have at some time or another visit me too, and I feel what I need to feel to move forward to feeling a little bit better. So it's not about being right or wrong wherever you are. If you find yourself today at the 20 percentile of being positive, you're not bad, you're not wrong, it's just where you are. If you find yourself at the 80% positive, it's not right, wrong, or whatever, it's where you are and where do you want to be. So it's just a scale that helps me, and I use it for many different things. And it does help me shift back into focusing on what I want rather than focusing on what I don't want. Secondly, I am a coach. I love supporting people in living their best life, whatever that looks like. I'm not a counselor nor my therapist. And sometimes to live your best life, getting that type of support is helpful. I believe you're worthy of living your best life. So whether it's hiring me as a coach, being here Tuesdays and Thursdays for support, getting a counselor, therapist, or any method that's going to help you live your best life, I encourage you to get that support system around you. So we're going to be talking about on our way today. But before that, I want to come into comments really quickly. Welcome, everybody. I will check. Then I'm going to come back into what I'm here to talk about. Then I'm going to go back into comments to see if you have any specific questions about the topic for today, or if you have a topic that you would like me to address in the future too. Even though you just see me here on the screen, this is a community conversation. So please share your thoughts, kind thoughts, I hope. I'm very, very lucky here with Positive Focus and the work that I do, that I really rarely do have a bot or anybody who is coming from fear-based to share unkind thoughts here. So I appreciate that. I don't know how to say your name, so I will just say you want to know what's going on in your life. So we will look at that. Hello, Melissa. Good to have you here. I'm giving hearts, but for some reason they are showing us angry faces. I am not seeing them for some reason, so maybe they're coming through here as hearts. So thank you. It's good to have you here. And Bidur from the county of Mount Operation. I do not know where that is. Hello, Glenn. Angel. I'm trying to see here. Glenn is, or I think it's Jeanette actually, from Maine. Welcome. Good to have everyone here. But today we're going to talk about what you're on your way to. And if you're new, I pick a word, define the word, come up with an affirmation, and then some tips around how to incorporate that into your daily practices of living your best life. I'm going to use the word always. It's always an invitation from me. There's never any demands that you have to do it this way or you should do it this way. It's what works for you. I'm going to be here to encourage you to try new things to live your best life. And today's conversation came up. I was driving out to a friend's to go canoeing over the weekend, and a song came on my playlist that I happen to love. And it's a song about love, but I heard it in a different way that day than I normally do. It's a song about I'm on my way to a romance is what the song is I'm on my way by Jennifer Lopez. But what I heard in the lyrics this time around was I'm on my way to fulfilling my dreams. I'm on my way to this that I want in my life. I'm on my way to that I want in my life, rather than it just being about romantic love. So I'm curious to ask you, what are you on your way to achieve? What are you on your way to accomplish? What are you on your way to experience in your life? And think about it from where you want to be rather than necessarily where you are right now. Where you are right now, you might be seeing every roadblock, stumbling block, challenge that might be seemingly stopping you from where you want to go. But I want you to just set that aside. I don't want you to think about your education, that you're too old, too young, not have the right education, don't live in the right part of the country or the world to achieve that dream. Just think about where you want to go. Where are you on your way to? So the definition of way is a method, style, or manner of doing something, a road, track, path, or street for traveling along. Again, where are you on your way? The affirmation I've chosen for today, and again, an affirmation is simply a statement. It's not positive. Well, it can be positive and it can be negative, but you are affirming when you speak it to yourself. So you can affirm what you don't like about yourself when you talk about what you don't like about yourself. You can affirm what you do like about yourself when you're talking about what you like. A positive affirmation, however, can not work for you if you immediately negate it. The example I like to use is when I say I'm very smart. That's a positive statement. I think all of you could agree that's a positive statement. However, if I say I am very smart, and then I immediately think of the not so smart things I have done recently, I've negated the power of that affirmation. So I might want to go into the I'm in the process of feeling very smart or change it completely. Your affirmation needs to be believable. It can be a stretch from where you are right now, but it needs to be believable. You do not want to negate it right away because you've just taken the power of that affirmation away. So today's is I'm on my way to magical and magnificent people and adventures. I am on my way to magic. This is a challenging one to say. I am on my way to magical and magnificent people and adventures. That is what I am creating in my life, is magical experiences, magical adventures, magical people that I align with to be part of my life, whether it's personal or professional. That affirmation, again, if you immediately negate it because maybe things are really challenging right now and you're dealing with people that are challenging in your life, or you're in an experience that's challenging in your life, create something that's going to be believable to you. It might be adding in the words, I am in the process of, or it could be shifting it up completely. But I would encourage you in the comments to come up with whatever you're on your way to, whatever dream it is that you want to have fulfilled, what would be a good affirmation for you to use to help you get to that space. You do not want to negate it right away. And it's not wrong to say no immediately. It's just helping you realize, okay, this is too big. I can't see myself there yet. So where can I see myself, and put that as your affirmation? Have it be believable. So again, the affirmation is I am on my way to magical and magnificent people and adventures. I love the word magnificent. I've been using it a lot lately. And so some tips for today are visualize your outcome of what that dream looks like and feels like. And I want you to visualize how you're going to feel, what it sounds like, what it smells like, what the touch is, more than the title of that. So let's say your dream right now is to have a particular job, and maybe it's a particular job title. Several of my clients, they have specifics that they're working on hiring new people into their business. And it's easy to get into, I need this person. But we talk about what's the ideal person that you need and what are the essentials that they have to have. So what does that vision for you ideally look like on that job that you want, and how do you want to feel in it, rather than thinking about the title, that it needs to be with this company, it needs to be on this street, in this city, in this town. go with that feeling of that you feel. Maybe it's a collaborative type job that you want to be. Maybe you want to work by yourself and not work in a team. Whatever that feeling is going to make you feel like you've accomplished the dream, go into focusing and visualizing on that space rather than it being a set job, certain company that you want to work for. Now, if there's a certain company you want to work for, or you know you want to work for yourself and you're confident in that, then you can absolutely fill in all those details. What you don't want to do is be so detail oriented that you immediately start thinking, well, that's not going to happen. That company isn't even in my town. How am I going to get that job? So you want to keep it open to the possibility of you being able to fulfill that dream. See it in the big context picture. Right now, we're not filling in the details on how to get there. We just want to see it realized and actualized in your life. So you want to visualize that, even just once a day, 3-5 minutes. You want to stay in the space of believability. You want to stay in the space of possibility and excitement for it coming true. If you start going into this isn't going to happen, this feels more stressful than excitement, then you're going to want to shift it back into something that's believable for you and that you can maintain that excitement in it. And tip 2, don't wait until you're ready to do it. I don't know about you, but it's easy to get into, I need, what is the statement? Have all your ducks in a row. I don't know where that came from. I'm guessing it's a hunting kind of thing, but I have no clue where that came from. But sometimes we wait so long to have the perfect education, the perfect amount of money, the right age, the right whatever we want in our dream. And I'm not saying to not continue to grow and enhance and build upon yourself, but I am asking you to take small steps today, because as soon as you start that journey towards your dreams, things are going to align for you that you're going to learn. Maybe like you're going to hear this school has the education that you want, and you're going to sign up for that class, or you're going to find something that realizes that you don't need that class. So don't feel like you have to have all the answers to create that dream. Just start today taking those small steps towards it and seeing it unfold, because I promise you it's going to meet you along the way. It's not necessarily you have to have all the answers. I tend to like to have all the answers, so it's something that I work on personally. It's like, I don't need to know this today. I need to know, and even need is a strong word. I want to know how I want to feel when this actualizes. I want to know how it's going to feel when I travel to some of my bucket list places, instead of getting stuck in the minutia of knowing of all the steps I need to take to get to that place. So it's really about how is it going to feel and what do you want out of that experience. And then the third one, and I think this is really important, is to not see the setbacks as stopping points and seeing it as you're failing and not maybe creating the way you want to create the dream. See those setbacks as part of the journey. Because I know from, and I've shared this with you many times, if you're new, you've not heard it. I started Positive Focus back in 2007, became a nonprofit in 2009. My dream back in 2009 was to have a local business in Chicago building where it was community support, helping people to be more positive, have classes, and it be more of a community here in Chicago. Well, pretty sure that didn't happen, but what did happen is because I was not so adamant that it had to be that vision. My vision was to support people in living their best lives, to be able to look to the gratitude and the challenges, and to grow and be the best person they can be, whether they're having in a moment of celebration or a moment of sorrow. I have this community, and it's not mine, it's our community globally, because I opened up to allow it to show up in different ways. I focused on how I wanted to feel in it. I certainly have had challenges along the way, and there have been many times that I have wanted to, I'm done. It's not working or whatever, but I've had to look at those as, do I want to continue? Which ultimately it was, yes, I do. But it was to stop in that moment of that setback, stop in that moment of what I felt like was a failure. And I promise you, I have felt like a failure many times on this journey. But to look back and see, am I failing? Or is this an opportunity to revisit what I want to do, revisit the path that I'm taking to get there. Maybe that stopping point, rather than it being a failure, is I'm so tunnel vision that I'm missing easier access points to what I want. I can easily get tunnel vision on it has to be this way. It's going to be step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. And I'm missing out on the opportunity for it to be easier ways. Or it could be that dream of wanting to support people, wanting to do XYZ for myself, might be the way I'm doing it is not beneficial for me and others. So there is another way to reach the feeling aspect of the dream without it looking like a building in downtown Chicago. So it's really about knowing that those challenges that we go through still happen, but they're not there to harm you. They're possibly there to help heal you, to be able to revisit and look at where you want to go. Look at where you're at right now with some gentleness and compassion for yourself, and then take small steps forward into moving forward in feeling how you want to feel when you're in the home of your dream, in the relationship of your dreams, in the job of your dreams, in the person you want to show up as in life. Who do you want to be, and how do you want to show up for yourself and for others in the world? Setbacks are not failures. They are the opportunity to see things from a different way. They are the opportunity to quit that path and change and shift into another way to reach your dreams of how you want to feel. Instead of it being the building in Chicago, it is a community online. So it really is about being okay with the hurdles, being okay with the challenges, and feeling them. Again, when I'm facing something that's really challenging, I'm not like, oh my goodness, the world is wonderful. I'm feeling it, and it doesn't feel good to me. So I do what I need to feel to move forward, to feel a little bit better. Prior to being involved with Positive Focus and starting this, I was absolutely a non-feeler. I was happy all the time, and the world was wonderful, and ignored those feelings of disappointment, frustration, or anything. They keep bubbling up for the majority of people. Some people might not have those come back to visit you, but they tend to just want to be seen and heard and acknowledged. So when you're able to give those feelings a voice and know that it's just some small part in you that's afraid of moving forward, maybe you're afraid of that success or afraid of the responsibility of that dream coming true for you, it's not there to harm you. It's not there to hold you back. It just wants to be heard and seen. So please be gentle with yourself today, tomorrow, the next day, and moving forward. We tend to be our worst enemies. So if you have people out there that you think are harming you and unkind to you, I do encourage you to look inside and see, what is your self-talk to yourself? What are you saying about yourself? How are you showing up for yourself in this world? And just start to be a little bit more gentle. So that is today. I do encourage you. Actually, I'm going to post the song because I've been listening to it like way too many times recently. But this song is what started me on this conversation. So again, it's On My Way by Jennifer Lopez. The song is about romance. I heard it in a different way over the weekend about I'm on my way to what I want to create in my world, which we'll talk about because it's global hugs. And what I want to create is also on its way to me. So the more that you practice being gentle with yourself, the more that you practice seeing the outward vision rather than all the steps that get there. And then take those small steps that get there and know that setbacks, know that challenges, know that painful experiences are part of the journey. They aren't stopping you from the journey. They're just part of it. That's why I like the scale of 0 to 100. I am not positive, happy, loving, kind, compassionate all the time. I am that the majority of the time because I've made it a daily practice to be that. So it's really about who you are, how you want to show up, and where you want to go. And be gentle with yourself through the process. So I'm going to come into comments before we talk about global hugs, which is again coming up in just a few short weeks. So let me see if I've missed anybody here. And on that note, sometimes I do miss the comments. They don't show up for me live, but I do come back later in the day to check. So if I've missed something and you've asked a question, please either put it back in or I will check later too. So I think I have said hello to everybody here. Sam, I'm not sure. Maybe I did say hi to you. I apologize. I'm going to say hi, Sam, twice. Um, let's see here if I missed any questions or comment marks. I am. I had a stroke and virtually everything has been taken away. I'm frantically reaching for anything that will make me feel whole. Mark, let me, okay, let me get back to that one, Mark. Kathy, I received a beautiful new journal and I am on my way to new journeys and magical adventures through my words and experiences. Wonderful, Kathy, and write it down. I really encourage everyone at the end of the day to think about what you had to celebrate in that day. And some days, those hard days, maybe you want to celebrate the fact that you are less hard on yourself today than you were last week. So think about things to bring that into your sleeping self. So you're putting that into your head to sleep on. Hi, Ricky. Good to have you here. Kathy, do you think sometimes the idea of reaching a goal or an idea of what that will feel like is better than the actual process of heading towards the goal? Kathy, I'm not quite sure I know, but let me give you what I think you're asking here. So when I mentioned positive focus earlier, I went on a cruise with Mike Dooley back in 2009. So it was really very early on positive focus. I just had made it a nonprofit. 2008 was my first Global Hug event. So Mike Dooley was talking about the Matrix is one of his programs, which I am certified in. And he was talking about the fact, he asked me, he's like, what is it that you want in the world? And I'm like, positive focus. And then he asked me why. What was the why of it? And so I told him it was about helping people. It was about seeing the good in the world, even in the bad in the world, because I'm a full believer this world is beautiful and it's messy. So for me, it's about bringing love, kindness, compassion, and peace to the messiness and to promote and shout out the beauty in the world. And he reminded me that, yes, I can do that through positive focus, which is what I do. But because I was so tunnel visioned on it just being positive focus, I was missing the opportunity to work with many other people who were on similar yet slightly different paths than myself. So when I opened it up to it being that feeling of how I wanted to help people live their best life, I've worked with many other personal development, many people I'm not well known, that have big names in this industry. So I was able to help their communities as well. So it's really about going back to how do you want to feel and how do you want to show up in that space. Now, ignoring the process to get there, I would not ignore them, but I would still go back to how I want to feel. Because sometimes for me, the process of getting there, I can easily either it's too hard or I get into a space of it's not fast enough, which is one of my things because patience is not my top strength in my world. So it is about still taking those steps, and it really is about being gentle with yourself on those steps and knowing that it's not a straight line to anywhere. It's going to have some twists and turns, and how are you going to navigate those twists and turns? The more you're gentle with yourself, the more you see it as an opportunity to just stop for a moment, take some deep breaths, and is this really the path I want to take? And if it's yes, then look for ways to make it a little easier. If it's no, and it's really you still want that overall vision, maybe it's a different path that it's time to take. It's not failing, it's just choosing a different way to go about how you want to feel your best in this big, beautiful, and messy world. Kathy, let me know if that helped because I'm not quite sure I understood your question. Hello, Sammy, and hello, Dee. Good to have you here. And you're very welcome, Sammy. So I think I have answered everyone's questions, comments. Again, if you have a topic you would like me to cover in the future, please let me know. And if Melissa, if you're still here, we should do some chats soon together as well. But I do want to quickly catch you up because Global Hugs is coming up soon. I have been doing hugs since 2008, 2 years off because of COVID, but we are doing Global Hugs September 9th through the 11th, which is simply writing a sign that says free hugs, picking a public place that has people who are walking by to stand out there to offer them. It's always an invitation. It's not a request. And it's about helping people feel seen and heard and know that they matter in this world. Again, I've been doing it for many, many years. Was not a hugger when I started. I was terrified, but I did see the impact it had on people. So I'm going to include the link for you to join. And also, in case you are not in case you're not a hugger at all, then maybe this event is not for you. But if you're not if you're uncomfortable with the thought of hugging strangers, then I'm encouraging you to still sign up and just that weekend share some hugs with family and friends. Take some pictures to send to me so they will be included in the global hug album. COVID is still a thing, so I want people to be conscious and paying attention to what's going on in their community on allowing that. And I know that this year it's going to be a smaller amount than it was 2 years prior, and that's okay too. The whole point is to smile, say kind words to people, and offer hugs, and just to create a smaller community of 7 billion people. So I will be doing it in Chicago on Sunday the 11th. So if you're local, let me know that too. And I will also share the link of where people are currently signed up. And if they have the word yes behind them, then I can share your email with them and you can join them personally too. So you don't have to necessarily start your own. But I would love, love, love to see more people out there smiling, and just go out there and smile and have a sign that says, be happy, or a sign that says, I see you, or whatever. But it's really about connecting with your community and sharing a little bit of love and kindness. Currently, we have huggers on 3 continents, 6 countries, and 16 U.S. states. That picture, the link will tell you where everything is. And so that's what I have for you today. Mark, I wanted to get back to you. I don't have specifics. I am not an expert in the field of stroke information. I do encourage you to come join me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm more of a mindset person, but I really do want you to look for support within your community. It could even be online, so it doesn't necessarily have to be right there locally, but to get some support with people who are trained and knowledgeable in dealing with what's going on with you regarding your the stroke that you have dealt with and you are healing from and getting better from. So I don't know where you live, Mark, but if you put that in comments, maybe I can see if I can find some local support for you too. So let me see if I have any other comments, questions. I don't think so. I think we are good. You are very, very welcome, Kathy. Thanks for being here, everyone. And remember, you are on your way to something. So focus on what you want in your life. Know the don't wants are showing up not to stop you, not to show that you're not doing it right or that you're bad. It's just there to give you the opportunity to revisit your desire to have it. It's part of the journey. I don't know of anyone who is 100% happy, 100% peaceful, loving, kind, compassionate. They too have challenges and roadblocks. Might be smaller than yours, might be larger than yours, but it's part of the journey. I really do think if everything was perfect all the time, we would start taking it for granted because we don't have experiences to show that that's something special. You are special. Life is precious. Life is fragile. Do what you can from where you are today to show up for yourself, to show up for those dreams that you're wanting to create, and just start taking some small steps forward to creating those. Is it possible to make Zoom meetings to be interactive even once a week? Sammy, I will look into that. I do a monthly Zoom. It is on Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. my time. It's called Dream Activation, and it's a process to help you feel like you're living that dream that you already currently want to live. And then I I don't right now have group coaching set up, but I will be setting that up too at some point. But I will look into that, Sammy. Montreal. Okay, so Mark, you are out of the country for me, and a different language if you're speaking of French. I will see if I can come up with something, Mark, and I'll put it in the comments here. But please look locally to find out some support systems for you to be able to help you navigate and move through what you're dealing with. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I will be back Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Chicago time. Don't know the topic yet, but it will be something on heightening celebrations and lessening sorrows through a positive focus. So take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves, be kind and gentle to yourselves and others, and remind yourself that the majority of us, not everyone, but the majority of people are doing the best they can with what they have in the moment. So be kind, gentle, and compassionate. Until then, remember you matter. You matter to me, you matter to the world, and most importantly, you matter to you. So we'll talk soon. Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Chicago Central Standard Time. Don't know what time it is for you, but I hope to see you then. Talk to you then. So long for now.